Hey, Scully! Yar!
Stinkosaurus.
Oh, right. Hardy, ar, ar, ar.
Good morning, this is Matt, and today we are going to be shooting some establishing shots of the swamp. So,
Hey, Scully!
all right, so need to set the shot up. And I got a new camera here in the studio. So we'll see how that works. Okay, doing a screen share. What I found with this screen share is there's a bit of delay and maybe not the highest throughput, but we'll see what works. Okay. And let's see here. First thing I need to do is oh, my camera is off. Let's go reset that camera. Okay. All right. Always something fun. Okay. Now let's see if that works. All right, are you on camera? Camera isn't on. What happens if we unplug it and plug it back in? Oh, live streaming. Okay, how about we plug you and so that makes you work. Oh. Now it seems to be working. The good old off-on trick. Okay. That was interesting. Okay, well the first thing we got to do is set up the lights. Uses a bounce card. You can kind of see the there it goes. Okay. Set up the lights. Uses a bounce. Going to be using Trexo, which is the slider, this morning. So you see a shot of the studio there. Get the pirate ship in the back, the little swamp set. And I'm going to line up this shot. Right now I'm setting up the app on the phone, which is going to control the Trexo camera control unit. There's that. So it works through Bluetooth. And I've been pretty happy with it. Used it for about 2 years. Setting up the app on the phone, which is going to control the all right, so you have use the joystick portion. So kind of to decide what shot I'm going to do, as I mentioned, there are 5 different critters. There's a raccoon, a possum, alligator, snap turtle, and a couple of blue herons. And I'm going to animate those guys. And okay. I want to have the camera move and then pan. So I'm going to set this up kind of at an angle. And once I get the shot, basically, I'm going to repeat that 6 times. Okay, I'm going to put it at an angle so it gives it a bit of a interesting. I want to be able to see the entire shot. Now, these are short, so they're 9:16 and not widescreen. If it was widescreen, be able to see the whole set, but since it's not, it's kind of a fun set. It was fun to make. And sometimes I would shoot with a little bit of fog, but I think for this I probably won't. Alright, that's kind of a good place to start. So I'm going to start see how I want to do this here. I think I'll start there. And I'm going to move. Actually, I need to move the slider all the way to the back. Okay. I'm going to start there. And then I'm going to slide this forward. It's got about, I think, 20 to 24 inches of travel. And then I want it to end up kind of, I'd like to get that big tree if I can. I might shoot it a little bit off center. I might move this tree over a little bit so I can get it in the shot. I like that big tree. Alright, and then I've got a wireless focus pole, which reminds me I need to change the battery. So many things run on battery. And you got to keep the batteries charged. Okay, let's see if this battery will work. It's got this little focus puller. This goes on the other side, the little battery there. Okay. Get off. Okay. Put that in there. Alright, so our battery's at 8.1 volts. That's good. If it gets around to 7.8, 7.7, it means it's going to die. So we should be good for that. Plug this other battery in, let it charge. Here we go. Alright. Okay, I'll recenter the camera. Okay. I think that'll be interesting. There's a little bit of spill from the key light bounce, which gives it a little bit of sunshine effect, which is kind of fun. Okay. So pull this back here. Oh, heater just came on. Gonna need to turn the heater off for a little bit. Of course, it's 9 degrees outside. Alright. So many things, lots of moving parts. Okay. Now we're back here. Okay, I'm going to bring that up just a little bit. Okay. Lost my pan module. Reconnecting. Okay, let's try this again. Close every one of those instances. Might need to reset these. Okay, refresh. I have to reset that. Okay. Turn on. Reset. Okay. Pan and tilt. Refresh. Waiting to refresh. Okay. Yeah. Guess it's going to be fussy today. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. Back to the everything off, everything on bit. And we're still not communicating. Let's close that. Technology. Okay, there it goes. Let's see if it's going to work this time. There it goes. Okay, joystick. Pan up a little bit. Save that. Move the slider. Okay. Tilt it this way. Okay, that looks kind of cute. Okay, and then I just need to double check to make sure I can be in focus here. There we are. That'll be kind of a cute shot. This is 702 at the end shot. Alright, there's just using the 100, taking some notes here. 5.6, 1.6. F-stop is 60. The ISO is set at 5300. It is the 23rd. And we'll just say started at 8:45. Okay. Establishing. So the first one we'll do is the opossum. Okay. Now, so I have that set there on the app, so I'll go to stop motion mode. Set it to 12 frames a second. Now this is a 5-second shot, so it'll be 60 frames. So 12 times 5 is 60. Okay. Okay. So there's going to be 60 frames, and then my first focus is point. It's about 516. Alright, so I'll probably cheat and call it 502. Yeah, I'll just call it 502. Alright, so between 502 and 702, that's 200 focus pull units. And we're at 60 frames. So 200 divided by 60 is about 3. So for each position of the camera, each of the 60 positions, I will be moving the focus pull about 3 units to keep it in focus. Alright, now the other trick is we are actually going to animate. So I have to decide when I'm going to animate Mr. Possum and what he's going to do. So okay. Now, at some point I'm going to decide what this little guy is going to do. So I probably think I'll just start him in the back and just kind of wiggle him across the screen. So I'll probably do that. We'll do a test. We'll see how this works. We'll probably do it. Maybe it'll last 12 to 15 frames. Kind of depends on when he gets into widths and gets into frame. All right, so here we go. We start. That's the first shot. Okay. Then we go to the next frame, and I increment this 3 frames. Okay. Go to the next frame. Increment the focus pull 3 frames. Next frame, increment 3 frames. Alright, we're on frame 5, focus pull 514. Okay. Next frame, 6. Okay. Next frame is 7. Okay. Okay, we're at 8. Next frame is 9. Next frame is 10. Okay. Next frame is 11. Okay, now we're at 12. Focus at 535. So because the camera is moving and it's manual focus, that's why we have the wireless follow focus. And basically it changes, there's a little motor over there and it pulls the focus as we move. Okay, 14 frames. Alright, 15 frames. Now we're at 16. Okay. Now we're at 17. Okay. Now we're at 18. There's 18. Pull the focus there. Now we're at 19. Okay, now we're at 20. Okay, we're at 21. Now we're at 22. Now at 23. Now at 24. Starting to see the cave come into the shot. Starting to see Mr. Possum. Okay, now we're at frame 26. So kind of getting some ideas about where I'm going to put the snapping turtle and the alligator in some of the upcoming shots. Probably in that open area under that small tree. Okay, we're at 28 now. Focus is at 582. There's 29. 30. Okay, it's about halfway through. Okay, 31. Okay, 32. There's Mr. Possum. Okay, now we're on 33. Frame 34. Okay, frame 35, 603 on that. Okay, frame 36. Okay. Frame 37. There's 37. Okay. It's 38. Okay, frame 39. Okay, focus pull. Okay, frame 40. There's 40. Focus pull 617. Okay, there's 41. Frame 42. Mr. Possum there. For the alligator and turtle, I might raise the camera a little bit so you can see a little bit more down into the swamp, which is just the top of the set painted blue and green. Okay, 626. Frame 44. All right, frame 45. Move the focus pole. Frame 46. All right, frame 47. Frame 48. Okay. Frame 49. Now, he hasn't moved yet. We got about 10 more frames to go, so I might just shuffle him a little bit. He doesn't need to do much. He's just a little possum. Okay. Okay, software bug here. Come on, software. Alright. Let's try. See if we can get back to the same place. Oh, technology. If not, we can try to salvage this shot by maybe manually moving the camera. See what we got here. Yeah, I think I can see if I can get connection or not. If not, I'll just try to manually move it. Alright, we'll try one more time. If not, I will just manually pan it. It loses connection from time to time, which can be frustrating. Alright, I think I'll just have to manually do this. Alright, so just click it one bit. There we go. It's a little rough. Okay, I guess I'll take that one. And then let's see if I can. If I can get this to connect, then I might be able to just pan this. With the software. Okay. Oh, software. So buggy. Well, let's see if I can reset this. In the middle of a shot. Let's reset it. Okay. Okay. That's that. Okay, I'll pan back. See if I can salvage this or not. If not, we'll just have to reset it. Yeah, the tilt's off, the pan's off. Let's see here. And we've lost it again. All right, well. Software is driving me batty. Okay, here we go. Now. That's not too bad. Yeah, it needs to be over a little bit more. Up a little bit, maybe. That's a little too much. Camera needs to come up a bit. Alright, that's not bad there. Okay, there's that. And then I want to pan this over a little bit. I want to pan that over a little bit and make my little possum move a little bit. Okay. Okay, I might just do one last pan. Kind of center the cave. Okay. Move my Mr. Possum a bit. There he goes. Okay, and then I think for the last 5 frames, I'm just going to let it sit there, and he can just wiggle across the screen. Okay. Come on, Mr. Possum, don't fall over. All right. He fell over, but I guess it works. Okay. All right, a couple more frames of Mr. Possum. There it goes. Oh, I moved that washing machine. I hit it. I gotta move it a little bit, just a bit. Back over just a bit. Quite hitting stuff. Probably should glue that down. Okay. Okay, there's Mr. Possum. And one final shot of the possum. There it goes. Okay. All right, 60 frames. It's the first opening one with the possum. I might end up doing that one again since the camera software crapped out. Didn't take too much time. Alright, and that was 60 frames. Shot number 1. Alright, so let's render that out. And I'll probably do that one again, we'll see. Okay, so need some more. Need a new folder. Swamp establishing. Okay. And we'll call this opossum 1. Okay. See how that goes. Okay. Okay. See what we got here. Okay, that's not too bad. All right, see what that looks like. Not too bad. All right, might want to move him a little bit earlier. Swamp kind of looks good. Kind of like the shadows underneath the tree in the cave. Kind of gives it some dimension. I mean, I could put a light back there, but then I think it would kind of destroy some of the... I mean, I might play with color correction with this, but I think from a lighting standpoint, I think I'm okay with it. All right, let's set up another shot. Okay, back to getting Mr. Trexo to work. So I'm going to reset all of this stuff. It can be a little buggy, Mr. Trexo can be. Probably firmware issues. Don't have the energy to mess with it. Okay. Hey, there's a light there. Okay. Okay, reset these guys. And I need a helmet. Okay. Turn you back on. Turn you back on. Tilt. Alright, those are reset. Now. Okay, so first shot. Not unsuccessful. Okay, so possum, take 2. Alright. Now this was what, 502 on the focus pole. Okay, there's that. And this is the same shot. Same lens, just recording all the lens and setup information. Alright, and here's 920 on the 23rd. Clear all this out. Okay. Now let's reset this up again and we'll see if Trexo is going to behave itself. Okay, we'll do opossum one more time and then we will move on to another animal. Alright, possum back to 1. There we go. And should be good there. Now, let's connect this here. And we're connected. Okay, now I'm going to move this pan over. And we'll start there. Okay. First position. Okay, move this through the throw. There's that. Then that's a little much. That's a little much. Okay, that'll be our second position. Hopefully we don't lose communication. For the extent of the shot. Okay. 60 frames. Okay, let's try her again. Shot number, take 2. Okay. There's that. Okay, 502. Alright, so okay, that. Next frame. Okay. Next frame. Next frame. Next frame. Frame 7. Frame 8. I think I might start him a little bit earlier, maybe around 47. Okay. 14, keep increasing the focus pull numbers. 18. 19. Okay. 20. Okay. That. Frame 21. Doesn't look like the screen share is keeping up. I might need to move to an actual HDMI cable. I think the screen share throughput is much too slow. Okay. Okay, there's this, 24. 25. It's 26. 27. 28. Yeah, I have to think I'll have to do an HDMI cable. Screen share isn't keeping up. You can get a rough idea, but here's the fun of that. Okay. 30. 31. Okay. 32. Come on, screen share. Why are you so slow? Okay. 33. 34. 35 there. Okay. 36. Yeah, you're not seeing the movie, unfortunately. Okay, well, one more thing to fix. It's more fun when you can see the movie. Okay, 38. Apparently screen share only shares images every couple seconds. 39. 40. Lots of moving parts in the live stream. Okay, 41. No, I might start moving this little guy in a little bit here. 42. I got like 17 more frames here. 43. I think I'll start him here in a couple more frames. Okay. 45. 46. Alright, I think I'm going to start moving them here. Okay, there's 47. Okay. we go, started moving the little guy. Okay. Okay, 48. Make sure not to hit the washing machine like I did last time. Okay, 49. Gonna have to figure out where he's gonna go. Maybe just have him hang out in front of the washing machine. It's 49. 50. Okay, move him just a tad. There you go, Mr. Possum. $51. There he goes right there. Okay. 52. Okay. There he goes right there. All right, Mr. Possum. There he goes. Now go to 53. Move him a little bit more. There he goes. Okay. Just trucking right along. Okay. Next frame. Okay, let's move him a little bit over here. There he goes. Okay. Let's move him a little bit more. I got 5 more frames for him to move, so I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do with them. Guess I'll just put him right there. Okay. Let's go to frame 56. Just rotate him just a little bit. He's got this long tail. Okay. Alright, got 3 more frames to do, or 4 actually. 57, 58, 59, 60. Rotate him just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Cute. Okay, go to frame 58. Rotate him just a hair. Okay. Second to last frame, penultimate frame. Okay, just gonna move him a little bit. There's that. Cute. And then our last frame. There it goes. Yeah, I like that. I think that turned out well. Animated all the way through. Okay. Okay. Now let's go back to frame 1. Alright, so that was pretty good. Happy with that one. Okay. Put the focus back on 502. Let's render that out, see what it looks like. Okay. This will be opossum 2. Render that out. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I've been using screen share on this Mac to share it to the other room that goes into the ATEM switcher, which goes into the OBS on another computer. And apparently, screen share is not fast enough to keep up with everything. So I'll have to move to an HDMI cable. All right. Yeah, it turned out pretty cute. Okay. All right, I'm going to call that one a success. Now, let's go back here. Oops. New. Let's do Mr. Raccoon. And Mr. Raccoon. All right, so we'll call that Raccoon. Okay. And we'll use the same setup for this one. Okay, so let's find Mr. Raccoon. Right here. And we can have Mr. Possum. He'll come back later for the last scene. So Mr. Raccoon, I think he's just going to stay up here on this barrel. And he might just rotate back and forth, kind of see what's going on. Okay, so now we are on shot 2. It's a 100mm lens. It's a series anamorphic with a 1.6 times. Got the f-stop set at 60, the ISO set at 5300. It is currently 940-ish on a snowy January 23rd. And we are in a small town south of Denver, Colorado called Castle Rock. All right. Here's Mr. Raccoon, and I think probably what I'll end up doing is just kind of moving him to the side because it looks like it's kind of hard to see him. All right, so our mask is set to 916, focus at 502. We're ready to start our third shot. Okay, frame 2. So there's 6 episodes of About the Dragons. All the preliminary shootings of the dragons is done. And initially I was going to reuse one of the caves from the dungeon diving series and maybe put some Spanish moss on it. But then Boom Sound Library came out with this swamp sound effect, which I absolutely love. There's way more swamp sound effect than I have shooting hours to use it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make a swamp. So I made a swamp. And there's a making of video on the YouTube channel, which you can see how we made this. And I recorded the dialogue with Keytrick, Jazz Copeland, and Jenny Kimball almost a year ago. And they make mention of a cave, cave door, etc. So I'm like, okay, if they're going to be in a swamp shack, I guess I'm going to just have to call it the cave. So it has a little sign called the cave. Okay. Next frame. There's Mr. Raccoon, which you cannot see him very well, so I'm going to, at some point, kind of move him around so you can see him a little bit better. Maybe when the camera stops moving. It's kind of a lot to take in. Okay, here we go. Okay, there's 18. Okay. Okay. Frame 23. There we go. Okay. See Mr. Raccoon there. Could call it Jesslyn. Jesslyn the Raccoon. That sounds like a raccoon name. Okay. Then I guess it's Miss Raccoon. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Pulling the focus there. So I'll probably start him, or her, excuse me, probably around 45. Alright, now how these dragons get in this shack, I guess is left up to the viewer. Maybe they have a big dragon-shaped back door. Maybe this was somebody's previous abode and the dragons took over. Who knows? The backstory of the dragons. Okay. $37. Okay. Now, it's number 38. And as I mentioned before, this screen share apparently does not want to share very fast data. I don't know, 1 frame a second. So I'm going to have to find a HDMI cable. Okay, it's 39. Go to next frame. Okay. And I'm going to start moving Miss Raccoon here. Okay, pull and focus. So far, pretty smooth shot. Even if you can't see it in Streamland. I mean, you'll see it when I publish the video here in the next couple of days. Okay, there's 42. Pull focus. Okay, is it even moving at all? Nah, it's just too slow. Alright, yeah, I'm going to have to run an HDMI cable or something. Okay, 43. It's not very interesting to watch if you can't follow along at home. Okay, frame 44. Okay. Focus pull. Frame 45. Okay, I'm going to start moving Miss Raccoon here. Just on the raccoon. Okay. Just going to start rotating her a bit. There we go. There you go. Okay, pull focus. Rotate Jesslyn the raccoon a bit. There we go. It's a rotating raccoon. Okay, shoot. 48, next frame. Rotate the raccoon just a bit. Okay. There's that. Okay, rotate the raccoon. Okay. Here we go. 49, 49. Okay. It's 50. Rotate the raccoon. Hold the focus. Okay. There's that. Shot 50. '51. Pull focus. Maybe just kind of shuffle raccoon. There we go. 51. It's a pretty smooth shot. Pull focus. 52. Okay. '54. I might just move her back a little bit. Let's give her a little bit of motion. Okay. Frame 55. Pull focus. Shuffle raccoon. Okay, frame 56. Pull focus. Okay. 57. I think I'll just leave Jesslyn sit there. I think we're in focus. That's good. All right there. $57. $58. Okay. 59. And then the last shot of Jesslyn the raccoon. There we go. Okay, so we got that one done. That's pretty cool. Okay, so 60 frames. Take number 3. And then we've got Albert the alligator, so we got to move him. Okay. Let's put the focus pull back on 502 and then render this out. Okay. Set the mask. Alright, raccoon. Render that out. Set the Trexo slider back to 1. Alright, so you can see that move back. Okay. Looks like the webcam's kind of slow too. Everything's kind of slow. Okay. Here's that. That didn't turn out too bad. Can't really see it on the stream. Okay. Show it one more time. Alright, now I gotta figure out what am I gonna do with this alligator. Okay. I guess I can put the alligator maybe under the... I can either put it... I think I'm gonna put the snapping turtle under there. And then... Maybe the alligator, but the alligator's kind of slow. Maybe I could put him back underneath there. I think I'm going to leave... art is arbitrary. I guess we'll leave Jesslyn up on top of the barrel. And we got Albert the alligator. Alright, I think I'll put him under the hut, which is kind of dark on the stream, so you can't really see it. Okay. New shot. Alligator. I wonder if he's going to be too dark under there. Okay. mask off for now. Oh, he's been hid by a plant. Can't even see him. Yeah, let me see if I can move him in front of the tree. He just looks like a log. Alright, well, I guess that's where we'll put our alligator. At least he'll be in the shot. Okay. So, I'm going to check on this here. And then we will start the alligator shot. Okay. Okay, so back to the Trexo. Okay, can we see the alligator? Yeah, I'll move him just a little bit. I don't know if you're going to be able to see him. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Okay, let's see how this alligator is going to work here. Back to Trexo. 502. Alright, the mask looks good. There's an alligator there. He's kind of hard to see, but we'll see how it works. Okay. Now it looks like I lost my Trexo. Alright. Good times. Let's reset everything because it's too much to ask for this to work for more than 20 minutes. Okay. Resetting everything. Oh, that's frustrating. Okay. Yeah, well, it's our modern day wireless stuff, firmware stuff. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Let's reset the Trexo. to redo this shot. So redo. Take 4. Where did my pencil go? Here we go. Okay. So alright, there's that. And it is currently 10 o'clock, so we'll start this shot at 10 o'clock. And this is, okay. Got 3 more shots to do. Alligator, turtle, and blue herons. Okay. Okay. Bring it up a little bit. All right, save that one. Okay, bring this all the way back down here. That. Pan over here. Alright, check my focus. It was 716 or something. Alright, that works. 502, save that. Alright. Hello, Gabberbabbers87. Thank you for commenting. Hopefully it is warm in Oregon. Okay. Let's go to stop motion. 12 seconds, 5 seconds, 12 frames. Okay. Now we're going to animate an alligator at the beginning. Alright. You can even see him, he's a little out of focus. The out of focus alligator. Okay. There's that. Next frame. Frame 3, pull focus. Okay. Gonna move alligator just a bit. Just slow moving alligator. Frame 4. Okay, frame 5. Move the alligator just a little bit. I can see her move. Okay, like that. Pull focus. Frame 6. Move the alligator just a bit. Okay, there's the alligator moving. Pull focus. Move the alligator just a bit. Okay. Frame 7. Pull focus. Move the alligator just a bit. Okay. Next frame. Pull focus. Move the alligator just a bit. Next frame, pull focus, move the alligator just a bit. Next frame, pull focus, move the alligator just a bit. Okay. Next frame, pull focus, move the alligator just a bit. Okay. It's kind of dark on the screen capture. I need to get an HDMI cable for that. Screen share is convenient, but the frame rate is not spectacular, at least running over Wi-Fi. I don't know if it would be any better running over Ethernet or not. I don't even know if this laptop has Ethernet. See if I can run a cable for the next time. Okay, there's the alligator moving. Okay, move the alligator just a bit. Next frame. Okay, move the alligator just a bit. All right. Next frame. Okay. Kind of see that alligator cruising along there. Pull focus. Move the alligator. Frame 17. Frame 18. Pull focus. Move the alligator. Okay. Next frame, pull focus, move the alligator. Doot. Okay. Next frame, pull the focus, move the alligator. Bloop. Okay. Next frame, pull the focus, move the alligator. Okay. Next frame, pull focus, move the alligator. It's kind of a fun shot, I guess, because you're kind of watching the alligator move with the pan. Okay. Next frame, pull the focus, move the alligator. Next frame, pull the focus, move the alligator. Okay. Next frame, pull the focus, move the alligator. Okay. Next frame, pull the focus, move the alligator. Next frame, pull the focus. See, there's a certain rhythm to this. Move the alligator. Okay. Next frame, pull the focus. Move the alligator. Next frame, move the focus. Okay. Alligator. There it goes. Okay. Halfway done. Next frame, pull the focus. Move the alligator. There it goes. Next frame, hold the focus. Move the alligator. Okay. I guess Jesselyn the raccoon's going to watch the alligator. Focus, move the alligator. Okay, next frame. Pull the focus. Move the alligator. There's that. And Allie the alligator just cruising through the water. Pull the focus, move the alligator. The alligator's just cranking through there. Okay. Next frame, pull the focus, move the alligator. There it goes. Okay. Next frame, pull the focus, move the alligator. Okay. Next frame, pull the focus, move the alligator. Okay. Next frame, pull the focus. Alright. Webcam is kind of slow. I wonder why the webcam is slow. Maybe it's because of the length of the cable. Okay. There's that. There's that. Yeah, the webcam is slow. There's that. Okay. That. Alligator's just cranking right along there. And Jesselyn the raccoon is watching. Pull focus, move alligator. Okay. And then move the alligator. Okay. There's the alligator go. Just cruising right along. 17 more frames. Okay. Move the alligator. Just a bit. Kind of disappearing behind this stump. Okay. Alright. Next frame. Move the alligator. Okay. Now, go to the next frame, 46. A couple more frames, 14 more frames. Move the alligator. Alligator's cranking right along. Next frame, pull focus. Okay. I might have pulled too much focus, but that's fine. I'll set this back. Looks like my focus is 660. Alright, I'm going to leave that there. Okay. Okay, alligator's cranking away. I'll leave the focus there. Next frame, we've got 13 more frames. Move the alligator. And I'll just leave the focus there. Okay. Alligator's kind of exiting frame. Have her crank back into frame. Okay. Next frame is frame 50. Alright, it's kind of cute. Okay. Move the alligator just a little bit, back in frame. Okay. Maybe I'll crank the alligator back into frame a little bit. There we go. Maybe this will cruise. Maybe it should cruise back under the cabin here. There we go. Alright, got about 8 more frames. And move the alligator back a little bit. Kind of get her back into frame. Right there, see how that works. Yeah, I think that works. Alright, there's that. Got about 6 more frames to move the alligator back in frame. A little bit, there we go. Move her head a little bit. There you go, Allie. Okay. Doot, 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 doot. That works, okay. There we go, 54, got 5 more frames to go. It's a 5-second shot. Establishing our scene with the alligator. All right. And again, I'm using this Apple screen share, and it's on Wi-Fi, and I'm not getting all the frames, which is unfortunate. So for the next stream, I will see if I can get an HDMI cable in here. See if that works any better. All right, we got 4 more frames. Okay. Move the alligator. Okay. Alligator's cranking right along. Got a couple more shots and we'll be done with this. Shot. There we go. All right. Next frame. Move the alligator. I might move Jesslyn a little bit too. All right, Jesslyn. There we go. Okay. Jesslyn's the raccoon. Okay, here we go. And then we got our final shot. Okay, next frame. Move alligator a little bit. Move Jesselyn the raccoon a little bit. Don't fall over. There we go. All right. Okay. Alligators cranking through. All right, there we go. Now, all right. Can't tell if the webcam is slow or if just the iPad is slow. I'll get it figured out. Okay. So this is alligator. Okay, set the camera back to 1. Set the focus pull back to 502. Okay, again, we have to move the focus as the camera moves. All right, there we go. Alligator moves. Oh, that's cute. I think it'll work. Okay. Okay. Now we got snapping turtle. Will be our next. Put the mask back on. Snapping turtle. His name is Turt Lancaster. Okay. Back there. Focus is back. Now I think I'll just leave Allie here. She can just hang out in the water. Now I gotta find a place to put Mr. Turt Lancaster. I'm gonna put him on this little rock. Maybe I'll move Allie over a little bit there. Okay, here's Turt. He's gonna go on this little log. He's very tiny, tiny Turt. Okay, so now it's alligator. Now we're going to do Turt, turtle. Okay, it's 100 millimeters. 1.6 times anamorphic, 60, 5300. It was 60 frames. We're on take now, fourth shot. And then this is about 1025, so I'll write that down in the notebook. Okay, so I think I'll leave Allie set. We'll leave Jesslyn, the raccoon, up here. Put her at a bit of an angle so you can see her a little bit better. All right, and here we go. And these will be opening establishing shots for Delta dragons. Dragons live in a cave. Cave is in a swamp. It's a little swamp shack called the cave. And again, I'm using an Apple screen share program, but it can't keep up with the frames, so you only get frame updates about once every couple of seconds. But I will investigate an HDMI cable. And it looks like, because technology, we lost our Trexo link, which it does quite often because that's what it does. Refresh to do a new take. Retake. See if we can get Trexo working in here again. Connect. Alright, so Trexo, are you connected? Well, we'll find out here. Okay, so that's the first one. Oh, it worked. Okay, it's a Christmas miracle. Alright, so we got Allie in there. And we got Turt Lancaster. And we've got Jesslyn the raccoon. Okay, this is the fourth shot. I'm going to do 6 shots because I want each of those shots to be a little unique. There's 6 shorts, so I don't want to use the same opening shot every time. Just add a little bit of nuance to it. Okay, 7, 8. Okay, and as the camera moves, I update the focus pull. Okay, here's 10. And 11. 12. Okay. 14. Okay, 15. 16. 17. Next. 18. So Turt's coming into frame there. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. I'll probably move them here about frame 40 or so. Okay. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35 there. Okay. Next frame, 36. 37. So when I get to 40, I'll move Turt around a bit. 38. Turtles aren't known for their active behavior. But we'll move old Turt around so we can see him. Okay. Now we're at 41. So I'm going to move him around just a little bit. Okay, here we go. Okay, Mr. Turt. Okay. Next frame. Next frame there. Move Mr. Turt a little bit here. There we go. It's 42. Okay, let's move them a little bit. There we go. And 43. Okay, it's not really, can't really see him move much, but we'll keep moving him. All right, so there we go. He's moved just a little bit. And we are at frame 44. I see him moving a little bit. Maybe I'll move him forward a bit on his log there. which is a little piece of bark I found. Okay, let's move him forward a little bit. There he goes. Maybe he's heading towards the edge of his log. Okay. "46. Maybe I'll move Jesslyn a little bit. There's Jesslyn there. Move Turt a little bit. Okay, there goes Mr. Turt. 46. Alright, next frame, 47. Check my focus. Okay, move Turt a little bit here. Move Jesslyn a little bit. Jesslyn the raccoon. There we go. That's 47. Okay. Go to 48. Okay. See if you can see any updates. Yeah, it might be a little dark. This Apple screen share isn't doing me any favors. I'll have to get an HDMI cable and plug it in. Okay. There's 48. Okay. There's 49. So we have about 12 more frames. Let's move Turt a little bit more towards the edge of his little log. There he goes. He's cranking right along at turtle speed. Okay. Check my focus. That's not too bad. Alright, move Turt a little bit. There he goes, like he's heading towards the end of his log. Bloop, 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 bloop. There we go. And then frame 51. Okay. And then move Turt a little bit towards the edge of his log. There we go. 51. Okay. Next frame, 52. There it goes. Move Turt towards the end of his log. There we goes, Mr. Turt. Mr. Turt Lancaster. Okay. There he goes. Okay. Frame 53. We got 8 more frames. And he's starting to come out of frame. Okay. There he goes. Frame 54. Move him a little bit towards the end of his log. There it goes. I might move Jesslyn the raccoon a little bit here. Maybe she's watching Turt. Okay. There we go. Okay, frame 55. Move Turt a little bit. He's heading towards the water. Okay. And take that shot. Frame 56. Okay. Move Turt a little bit there. He's heading towards water a little bit. There she goes. Okay. Alright, got a couple more frames to go here. And again, I'm using Apple Screen Share, and the screen update refresh rate is not so great, so I'm gonna, for the next stream, I'm going to move to an HDMI cable, and hopefully you guys will be able to see it a little bit better. Okay. All right. And then we'll go to the next frame and just finish this one out here. Okay. Couple more frames, then we'll be done with this shot of Turt Lancaster, Jesslyn, and Allie the alligator hanging out in front of the shack. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to do one more shot with Jesslyn moving a little bit and Turt moving a little bit. Okay. Because I got a double frame in there, I'm going to get rid of frame 57. Alright, so I need to take a note to delete frame 57. Okay. Now, got a couple more shots to do, 5 and 6. So we will render this out, pull the mask back. Turtle. Okay. Set the camera back to position 1. Set the focus pull back to 502. Okay. There's that. Now we are on shot number 5, and that is our little herons. So I think I'll put Turt there. I think I'll put the herons over here. I do need to get a little bit of the Loctite Fun Tack so the herons can be here. I guess I'll put them over here. Okay. There's that. Put a little fake moss in front of them. All right, Mr. and Mrs. Blue Heron. Okay, let's see how this works. That is the render. There's a doubled frame in there I'm going to have to pull out when I edit. See Turt moving there. Yeah, it works. Okay. Then I'm doing 6 of these establishing shots for the 6 episodes. Okay. All right. There's that. Can't get her to sit up straight here. I'll put some goo on the other one as well. Okay. There we go. Are you going to sit up or no? Okay. Gotta go with some little heron feet. Okay. There's that right there. Come on, you can do it. You can stand up, Miss Heron. I might need to drill a hole for her foot. Bloop. Alright, what if I just put you out front? There you go. I'll just cheat and line her up against that. And then I need to see what her legs look like. Okay. She's out of focus. Alright, maybe I'll put the focus right there. Okay, new shot. Okay, herons. Alright, so this is take number 8. Okay. Which is the 5th shot. Alright. And it is currently 10:45-ish, so I'll write that down there on a chilly January 23rd. That's the herons right there. And then for the last one, we'll put the possum back in. Again, I need to do 5 shots for the 5 different openings. Okay, let's see if this works here. Put the mask back to 9:16. There, you see one heron there. Okay. Okay. And there's 2. Pull the focus a little bit. Three. Okay. See our herons in the shot. There's 4. Pull the focus a bit. There's 5. Six. Pull the focus a bit. There's 7. Okay. There's 8. Okay. That's 9. 10. Oh, I've got a double frame in there. Yeah, I'm going to redo this one. Okay. Go back to frame 1. Alright, so heron retake. Okay, note that here. We're to 9. There's that. Okay, so back to frame 1. Pull the focus back to about right there so we can see the herons. Okay. Frame 2. Pull the focus a bit. Frame 3. There we go. Pull the focus a bit. See the herons. Okay, frame 4. Alright, why was the camera not moving there? Alright, I'll try one more time. I don't like that stutter. Retake herons. Okay, back to 1. Okay, there we go. Focus back. 2. There's 2. There's 3. There's 5. Six. Okay. 7. That's pretty smooth. That's 8. There's 9. There's 10. Okay, there's 11. Pull the focus a bit. There's 12. There's 13. 14. 'Kay. Get a double frame in there. I'll take it out when I edit. Okay. There's 15. Pull focus a little bit. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 22. 21, sorry. 22. Okay, 24. 25. 26. 'Looks like I lost connection. Okay. Alright, let's try to reset this. Okay, refresh. Okay. Okay. Reconnect. Still pretty smooth shot. Okay. Connect. Okay, let's try this one more time. Okay. Connect. These things can be a little finicky since their last firmware update. It was working pretty good. Then they said, we will update firmware, and now their stuff doesn't work very good. Okay. Maybe the next firmware upgrade will fix it. Okay. I need to reset this, because it looks like it does not want to connect. Alright, when all this fails, reset everything. This would be too much to ask for this to work for more than 20 minutes. Shut it all off, turn it back on. Shut it all off, turn it back on. Okay. And we'll retake this here. New shot, retake. Okay, good times. Now, pull the focus back to 502. Okay. Okay. Just 2 more shots to do. We'll be done. Okay. It's all good. We're having a good time here. Okay. Connect, 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 connect. The birds in focus. About right there. Some focusy birds. Now, let's see what we got here. Joystick. Just pan this over a little bit. Kind of start it there. First shot. Slider all the way to the end. That works. Pan over a little bit. Pan a little bit down to see Turt. That's good right there. Okay. Set the second position. Set the second position. There it goes. Stop motion. 12 frames a second. It's a 5-second shot, which is 60 frames. Alright, let's see if we can get this one down here. Okay. I want to start with the birds in focus. Alright, we'll start right there. Shot number 1. Okay. Shot number 2. Shot number 3. Shot number 4. Shot number 5. Shot number 6. Shot number 7. Shot number 8. Shot number 9. Shot number 10. Shot number 11. Shot number 12. Shot 13. Shot 14. Shot 15. Shot 16. Shot 17. 18. 19. There's 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. Pull the focus a bit. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38. 39. 40. Might move Jesslyn a bit here. 41. Let's move this raccoon just a bit. Okay, here we go. Okay, 43. Move her just a bit. There we go. 43. 44. 45. Okay. 46. 47. Check my focus a little bit. There we go. 48. 49. 50. 51. 52. 53. 54. 55. 56. 57. A couple more frames, we'll be done. 58. Okay, 59. And our last frame, 60. Okay, good. I got through that sequence. All right, now that was take 11. And again, it turns out that the Mac screen share I'm using only has like updates once every 2 seconds. I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi, I don't know if it's the inherent nature of the screen share, but I'm going to have to move over to a HDMI cable setup. Okay, which I'll do for the next one. Okay, back to frame 1. Okay. All right, that turned out pretty good. I don't know if you can see it on the screen or not. Again, I'm going to be moving over to HDMI cable here in the future so that the throughput's higher on the screen share. Okay. All right, one more shot to go. Okay, and this, I'll put the possum back in. I'll call this one Possum and the Gang. Okay. Okay, Mr. Possum, he'll go right there. Everybody's in for the last one. Shot 6, 100, 5.6, 1.6, 53K, 60 frames. It is now 11:05 on the 23rd. Okay. And this is shot 12, or yeah, take 12. Okay. Now, see if we can get this to work, and then we'll be good to go. All right, there's that. I'm going to start this, I think it was 560 or so on the focus pull. There we go. I'm going to move the possum back a little bit so he has a place to go to. All right, so first shot. There we go. That's Next frame, 2. Okay. And then next frame 3. There we go. Hold the focus a little bit. Okay, there's 4. And I'll probably move the possum maybe when we get to around 46 or 47. 40, okay, that's frame 5. And then frame 6. Okay. Frame 7. Oh, did we lose my... Looks like we lost our Trexo again, because it can't last more than 20 minutes apparently. Okay. Reset that, see if that works. Okay, looks like I might just have to reset this, because apparently now lasting more than 10 minutes is a struggle. Okay. Okay. Reset that, retake for the last shot. Load it up again. Well, with all its bugs, I still really like it. I like it when it works. When it doesn't work, it's kind of a pain. Okay. Guess I'm gonna have to reset these ones as well. Okay. Turn off. Turn back on. Turn off. Turn back on. Tilt. There's that. And pan. All right. Connect and pair. Mask back to 916. Okay. There we go. All right, now okay. I'm gonna set this pan back over to here. That's a good place to start. We'll start there. Now I need to move the slider all the way to the end. Yeah, I like that right there. I think that'll work. But I want it to be a little bit lower so we can see the Turt. Yeah, let's do it right there. Okay. Stop motion, 12 frames a second, 5 seconds long. Okay, last shot. Okay. Herons are in focus, that'll work. Okay, so start here, and when we get to about 45, I will I'll start moving the possum. All right, frame 3. Frame 4. There's frame 5. Frame 6. Frame 7. Frame 8, pull the focus a little bit. Frame 9. Frame 10. Okay, frame 11. Here's frame 12. Frame 13. Frame 14. Frame 15. Frame 16. Pull the focus a bit. Frame 17. Okay, and this is the 6th shot. There's 6 shorts. I wanted a little bit different opening for each of them. I didn't want to reuse the exact same one every time. So I kind of changed up the animals. We had Turt Lancaster, the snapping turtle. We had Allie the alligator. There's 20. We had the possum. Call him George Jones. His nickname used to be the Possum, country singer. Jesslyn the raccoon. And then 2 herons, Mom and Dad. Alright, there we go. There's that right there. Pull the focus bit, frame 24. That's 25. Pull the focus a little bit. There's 26. 27. That's 28. It's 29. There's 30, halfway done. 31. Okay, it's nice and smooth. 2. Okay, 33. 34. Pull the focus a little bit. 35. 36. 37. Yeah, let's get there. Okay, 38. And again, once we get to about 45, I'll start moving the possum. Okay, it's 39. 41. 42. 43. 44. All right, so I'm going to start probably in the next one. Okay, 46. Going to start moving the possum here. All right. There we go. Possum moved. Doot, doot. Okay. Look at that possum go. Okay, 46. 47. Ah, my possum mate fell over. There we go. 47. There we go. Let's see how that works. All right, look at that possum go. 47. Next frame. 48. Okay. Next frame, 49. Okay. I'll move Jesslyn a little bit too. Maybe she can watch the possum go. Here we go. Okay, next frame, 50. Move Jesslyn a little bit there. Move the possum a little bit there. No, don't fall over, possum. Okay. I got a bit of a three-legged possum here. Okay, I think I hit the... washing machine a little bit. Need to move it back. Just slightly. Alright, and then my possum fell over. You can do it. Stand up, possum. Okay. Alright, sewing machine or washing machine looks good. Possum looks good. Alright, there's 50. Okay, 51. Try not to hit the washing machine. There we go. Possum goes. 51. Okay, about 8 more frames here. Move the possum. Okay, here we go. There's the possum going there. Okay, skedaddle and possum. Alright, we got 8 more frames to go. Move the possum. Don't hit the washing machine. Doot, doot. There we go. 7 frames to go. I'm going to check my focus real quick. That's good there. Alright. Need to move that possum a little bit. Okay. No! You can do it, possum. There we go. See how that looks. Bloop, bloop. Kind of a sliding possum, but it'll work. Alright, 54. Here we go. Next frame. Okay. Bloop, bloop. That works for possum. There we go. Next frame, got 5 more frames to go. Move him over a little bit there. Bloop, bloop. Okay, all right. That's 56. There goes the possum. Alright, next frame, 57. There we go. I'll just kind of start rotating them a bit. There we go. Alright. There we go. 4 more frames. 58. And bring them out here. Okay, I'm going to move Jessalyn a little bit. She wants to know what's going on with that possum. Here we go. Bloop, bloop. 58. And 2 more frames. Okay. And I'll just move the possum just a little bit. Okay. Alright, and then our final frame of the day. We'll move Jessalyn a little bit, the raccoon, and move George the possum a little bit as well. Alright. See how it works. Oh, I need to move this. There we go. Doo, 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 doo. All right. Final frame of the day. Finished about 11:30. Started about 8:30, so about 3 hours. That's not bad. All right, and that was take 13. That was 6 shots. Now I can edit them into oh, I need to change the mask. Okay. The whole gang. Okay. Well, that was good work. So we finished the 6 shots, establishing shots. We learned that I need to do HDMI cable instead of screen share. And here we go. That looks pretty good. That's pretty cute. All right, there we go. Final shot of the day. Well, thank you everybody for joining me today. Live streaming is just a lot of moving parts, but we will get it figured out. And thank you very much for your attention today, and I will see you next time.
Hey, you Scully! Yar!
Stinkosaurus.